Hello there everyone, welcome along to round number 9 of the LB Racing Series. Tonight we are at Road Atalanta for the penultimate event. The track is looking great as you can see on the screens here, but let's get straight into the action because that's what you really want to see. Let's catch up with the championship tables from the last round. So it was De Jong there in 15th, and we had Hugh there in 14th, Baldy 13th, Wacky in 12th, Mad J aka Rich there in 11th, Fat Man in 10th, Johnny in 9th, and Drew in 8th. Mad J there, Rich making a great climb up the table, getting that second place. Top half of the table we had Proxy Dev in 7th, Mike in 6th, Gear Kayla 5th, Sprinkler 4th, Mario 3rd, Gamsky in 2nd, LBR Lewis retaking the lead of the championship. So close at the top and also close from 3rd all the way down to 5th. Now, who got driver of the day from the last round? Of course, it had to go to Mad J, aka Rich. A great performance, getting first podium of the series, claiming that second place. Great result there, and congratulations to Rich. Now, tonight here at Road Atalanta, no rain predicted, so we are going to see the standard strategy, either start on the softs or start on the hards, and a one stop is looking like the ultimate strategy for the drivers here tonight. But let's have a look and see how they got on in qualifying for tonight's race. So it was Johnny in 11th with Gear Kayla in 10th. We then had Mario in 9th with Drew in 8th, Wacky there in 7th with Hugonoy in 6th, Mad J in 5th, Proxy there in 4th, Sprinkler taking 3rd place, LBR Lewis taking 2nd. So that means on pole tonight is Gavsky. Can he convert this into a race win and potentially take the lead of the championship back? Let's find out. Right everyone, let's get into the action here for round number 9 of the championship. It is Gavsky leading the cars on to the start-finish straight for the start of the round, and it is lights out and away they go. So Gavsky in the lead, followed closely by LBR Lewis. Great shot there of all of the cars together at the start of the race. LBR Lewis in second place, having a look straight away onto the back of Gavsky as they come into the real first braking zone of the start lap and coming off down the hill. Sprinkler staying quite close behind this battle as well. They're in 3rd place. Proxy Dev there in 4th. Rich is in 5th. Hugo 6th. Wacky in 7th. Mario 8th. Johnny in 9th. Michaela in 10th. And Drew in 11th. Having a bit of an incident at the start. But it is LBR Lewis has taken the lead there. But Gavsky has taken it back. So it must have been a bit of a lunge there from LBR Lewis, who has dropped down in 2nd. But it is Gavsky who is now in front with a nice little bit of gap. Sprinkler having a battle here with LBR Lewis in 2nd and 3rd at the moment. Sprinkler looking to go around the outside here as they come into the brakes there. LBR Lewis braking late and going straight on there. Manages to keep it just on the track. Manages to keep hold of 2nd, but look at the battle behind there. So it is Sprinkler in 3rd. Proxy there in 4th, just behind Sprinkler. And then Rich there in 5th with Mario. Sorry, not Mario, Hugo just behind that in 6th. But look at them. All that's going on here between LBR Lewis and Sprinkler, and Gavsky is just absolutely checking out here in the lead. It's a lovely gap there. Look at the gap he's pulled out after one lap. And going purple for good measure, so Gavsky is flying at the moment. LBR Lewis has managed to potentially get himself a little bit of a gap there from Sprinkler. He needs to get after Gavsky and push on, try and catch up to the car in front. Sprinkler coming under pressure from Rich, so Rich there in 4th on the back of Sprinkler. Going to potentially be looking for a move here. And looking to go up the inside there. Oh, Elbiolus goes off in front. Elbiolus has gone off in front. Now he's about to get swallowed up. He gets swallowed up by Rich and Sprinkler. And Foxy Dev trying to go around the outside. And Foxy Dev making it stick around the outside goes Foxy Dev. And into 4. Elbiolus can fight this one back, but tucks in behind. So Elbiolus losing a lot of positions there. Rich has managed to get past Sprinkler in front. So Rich there up into second. So we've got Rich now in second. Sprinkler third. Foxy in fourth. LBR Lewis is now in fifth. Back on the back of this little train of cars here. Hugo in sixth. On the back of this battle as well. Wacky on the back of this battle also. Giacala in eighth. Mario there in 9th, Johnny is in 10th, not too far off the battle, and Drew recovering and getting on the clock of this battle as well in 11th. But Gavsky is still in the lead of this race, has the fastest lap of the race, at 1 minute 19.069, so a very good fastest lap of the race so far from Gavsky. Gavsky there, pushing on well, doing a great job here. Now, we'll have a look at what his lap time is on that lap. So another 19, but 19.6 on this one. Rich there in second. So Rich has got a nice bit of gap now in second. Proxy Dev in third. Sprinkler in fourth. Now, Wacky is up to fifth. Elbion Lewis dropping even further down in his sixth. So this has been a terrible opening from the championship leader. And this stays as it is. This will give Gavsky the championship lead back going into the final round next week. But there's Elbion Lewis getting past Wacky. So back up into fifth. And Wacky getting a half-second penalty. And going a little bit off there. Now, is that going to bring Hugo into play? Hugo is going to get past, surely, when Wacky is about to serve a penalty. Coming up in a second. And there Hugo goes up into P6 for Hugo. That drops Wacky down into 7th. And is bringing Giacala into play behind. So Giacala now pushing on and catching up to the back of the group in front. Johnny is there in 9th. Mario has dropped down to 10th. So something has happened to Mario there. We will go and find out what happened to Mario. So Mario coming down into the braking zone, brakes late and just goes off. You see pretty much follows the same lines as what LBR Lewis did earlier on in the race we saw, and then as you can see Johnny just swoops around the inside. So that is what happened to Mario. So Mario dropping down into 10th, but getting back on it and onto the back of Johnny. Drew has dropped even further, and Drew is coming into the pits now. So we will go and have a look at what happened to Drew. So on board with Drew here, and just maybe a little bit wide here, but just seems to go straight on here and just onto the grass, onto the curb and into the barrier. And that's where Drew got the damage. Obviously had to drive round and do another lap before he could come in and complete the damage. But that was where Drew picked up that damage. So Drew repairing that damage and getting back out on track. Almost going to be over half a lap down once Drew gets out the pits there. But it is still Gavsky in the lead of this race. Has a nice lead. Look at the greatness glowing on the front of that Mercedes. Doing a great job is Gavsky. This is definitely going to bring the championship down to the last round if things stay as they are at the moment, because it is Rich in second. Roxy's there in third. Sprinkler in fourth. With LBR Lewis not too far behind now. So this is going to be a battle. LBR Lewis will be looking for a way to get past Sprinkler as fast as possible and try and regain some of that ground. He's flashing the lights. He's saying, come on mate, get out my way. I need to get past you. My championship is hanging by a thread here. Now, will he get the drive onto this back straight? Will there be enough slipstream from Sprinkler's Mercedes in front to get LBR Lewis past by the end of this? It is quite a long straight here at Road Atalanta. No, not enough on that lap. So it is going to be at least a few more corners. Stuck behind us. We've got Rich coming into the pits. That's an early pit stop from Rich. So Rich has come into the pits. He'll drop down a couple of positions, and as I said, an early stop for Rich just on the almost 8.5 minute mark. But this battle is still going on. LBR Lewis getting closer and closer to the back of the Red Bull Mercedes of Sprinkler. Now LBR Lewis is going to get a drive off that corner there. Gets the drive off the corner. They now start to go side by side coming down start finish straight. You can see Froxy there in second, so they're not too far off second at this point. And Hugo there behind. Now Sprinkler will have the inside at the end of this straight as we get closer in the braking zone. LBR Lewis has to back out of that one. And Sprinkler comes into the pits. Gavsky is in the pits as well, so Sprinkler is in the pits. This is going to promote LBR Lewis up into the lead of the race. Froxy's in the pits as well, so Froxy getting tyre change. Gavsky is on his way out of the pits. So Gavsky's pit crew doing a great job getting him in the pits. Caleb goes through, and so does Mario. Here comes Gavsky out of the pits, just on the 10-minute mark. Hugo just trundling down the pit lane as well, getting himself underway on the 10-minute mark as well. Sprinkler there in front, just coming out of the pits as well. So that's Sprinkler out of the pits in 7th. Hugo's come out in 8th. Johnny is in the pits and just trundling out as well. And then here comes Wacky. It's going to be close between Wacky and Johnny. Wacky comes out just behind Johnny. But Johnny manages to get out just in front. And then Drew there in 11th. But it's LBR Lewis in the lead at the moment. Obviously, de facto in the lead because hasn't pitted yet. Just ignore the P signs on the lap time graphic off to the side. I don't know what's happening there, but here comes LBR Lewis into the pits. So into the pits, getting the tyres changed, and we'll be out on underway. Here comes Gia Kayla, who will take the lead of the race from Mario now in 2nd. These guys yet to pit. Gavsky in 3rd. LBR Lewis is trundling out the pits now, but Rich has gone through in 4th. LBR Lewis there, and LBR Lewis has got out in front of Sprinkler in 6th. So that extra lap for LBR Lewis has jumped Sprinkler in the pits. Sprinkler came into the pits, was in front a lap before, so the overcut there from Elvin Lewis has worked. That extra lap in clean air has got him out in front of Sprinkler and Froxy Dev. But he's now on hard tyres that are cold, whereas the cars behind, they have had a chance to warm up their tyres, doing an extra lap on them. So as you can see, those guys are coming back. And this is close racing here. Look at all of those cars there. We've got 5 cars in one shot, and we are almost halfway through the race. Sprinkler having a look here on LBR Lewis. LBR Lewis sending Sprinkler to the outside. LBR Lewis struggling to get the power down. Getting a bump draft, it looks like, from Sprinkler there. Close racing going on here. LBR Lewis is managing to hang on. It looks like the tyres are maybe starting to warm up a bit now and could potentially start to push on. That looked a little bit wide. That may be a penalty. And that is a half-second penalty for LBR Lewis. As commentator's curse there said, tyres are looking well, starting to push on a bit, and that is given a half-second penalty for that. Rich there in 4th, got a little bit of gap, Rich does, from the gaggle of cars behind, but it is Gavsky still in 3rd place. Obviously the 2 cars in front of Gear Killer and Mario have not pitted yet, but Gavsky is starting to catch back up to them. So all of these drivers are on the hard tyre. So this is going to be interesting when Gavsky catch up to the back. He will have obviously a tyre advantage because his tyres won't be as worn out. Now, are we going to see Gear Kayla and Mario go, oh, do you know what? We know he's winning the race. We're just going to let him through. Or are they going to hold position and try and defend the lead of the race? Because at the moment, Mario is all over the back of Gear Kayla. Gavsky getting ever closer. Mario doing a great job here in 2nd. Mario likes doing this alternative strategy where he starts on the hard and then goes on to the soft later on in the race. It seems to work well for Mario. Got a few podiums out of doing it, and Gavsky's not getting much closer. He is getting closer, but it's not night and day difference. He's caught up to the back of them, but at this point maybe he's just thinking, alright, I'll just sit this distance behind them. They're going at an okay pace. He knows he's got a gap to the group of cars behind, and he can just maintain this gap. Doesn't need to get involved in the fight in front. He's got a couple of corners gap back to Rich here in 4th. And then Rich has got a nice gap to the gaggle of cars still. There's no separating these guys today on track. Sprinkler appears to have a run here on Froxy, but I don't know if Sprinkler ran a little bit wide there. Yeah, Sprinkler getting a half-second penalty. Now that's going to bring LBR Lewis into the clutches of Sprinkler again. So will LBR Lewis be able to power back past the Red Bull Mercedes? The Sprinkler serves penalty. LBR Lewis moves out and goes round. And that's LBR Lewis up into 6th and hunting down Froxy. Hugo in 7th, so Sprinkler lost out 2 positions with that penalty, so Sprinkler dropping down to 8th. Johnny in 6th. Sorry, 6th, in 9th position. Wacky there in 10th. And Drew pushing on in 11th after getting that early damage earlier on. It's still Gavsky with the fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 19.069, so he's still got the fastest lap of the race currently. We still have Gear Kayla and Mario to pick because they start the race on hards. Expected to see them in the next couple of minutes to get rid of the hard tyre. Gavsky's definitely closed up that gap, looking here at the leaders, so Gear Kayla in the lead, and Gear Kayla, I thought he was going to come into the pits then. Gear Kayla going around for another lap, so is Mario. And the de facto race leader, Gavsky, is getting closer. So just want to take this moment just to say thank you to everyone for their support throughout the championship. Obviously we do have one more round to come next week. And if you have been watching, you think, oh, do you know what, I'm going to get involved. I'm going to drop us a message, get the link to our Discord, join the community. We are going to be hosting more races in the next series, which we are hoping will start in January. So we will have some more interesting different formats of racing coming up. We're still going to keep a main championship a bit like this one, probably a different car, some different tracks, maybe a little bit of a change to the rules, but we're going to introduce some other formats as well, turn it into a bit of an event with some support races as well. So if that sounds like something you're interested in getting involved in, by all means drop us a message, get involved. But look at that, Gavsky is getting closer and closer to the back of Mario. Now Gavsky needs to think about getting past. As we approach the 20-minute mark of the race, we have almost 10 minutes remaining. We've still got Rich with a nice little gap there in 4th to Froxy Dev in 5th. Still got a nice little gap Froxy Dev does to LBR Lewis there in 6th. Hugo in 7th. Sprinkler still in 8th. Johnny in 9th. Now Wacky is getting closer to Johnny. Wacky pushing on hard to catch up to the back of Johnny. And Drew is not too far behind. They're just coming on to complete another lap is Drew. But it is still Gear Kayla in the lead. Now, are we going to see Gear Kayla peeling into the pits in this lap? No, we are not. Gear Kayla's going for another lap. Gavsky has been released from the behind of Mario as Mario comes into the pits. Mario's pit crew getting underway, getting these tyres changed. And Mario getting released. So Mario is going to come out, and okay, we have LBR Lewis pitting off the hard tyre. This is a bold strategy. What is that saying from the film Dodgeball? It's a bold strategy called Khan. Let's see if it pays off. But Mario getting released. LBR Lewis is trundling out of the pits now. Has changed onto the soft. This is dropped down to 8th place with 9.5 minutes left in the race. That's going to be an interesting call. Does get out in front of Johnny, who's just coming round, but that has cost LBR Lewis 3 positions. And obviously with Mario, he would have overtaken Mario and possibly Gear Kayla, so this could cost him a podium. does he really think he can make up that much time here by going back onto the soft tyre? So Wacky is in 10th, and we do have Drew pitting in 11th. And Drew getting underway. Kayla's coming to the pits, so that has released Gavsky. Gavsky is out and underway in the lead of this race. 8 minutes left. Currently holding a clean sweep in round 9. Pole position, fastest lap, and potentially the race win. Going for the Triple Crown is Gavsky here at Road Atalanta. Foxy Dev is up to P2 now with the pit stop. So LBR Lewis would have been P3 surely, because there's Hugo behind him 3rd, Sprinkler in 4th, Rich is in 5th with Mario all over the back of Rich. Gear Kayla is in 7th, so Gear Kayla will be flying now on those soft tyres. This is hotting up with 7 minutes remaining in the race. Don't forget to vote for your driver of the day. The voting is open. Get your votes in. Who you think is driver of the day here at Road Atalanta. And it looks like Mario is going for a move on Rich. Mario is on the soft tyre now. So Mario up to 5th. Rich dropping down to 6th. Now Rich is going to be under fire from Gear Kayla. These two are on the soft, whereas Rich is on the hard tyre. Rich is going to be under huge pressure here. Oh, it's all Mario! Mario into the barrier. We caught that just as it happened. Losing the back end, front end damage for Mario. And that has cost Mario dearly. Unfortunate that for Mario. And that will bring LBR Lewis, and LBR Lewis sets the fastest lap of the race. So that does take 1 point away from Gavsky, because Gavsky had the fastest lap before. But taking 1 point off of Gavsky and losing a lot of points if he finishes 8th here, between what he would have got even if he finished 3rd, this could cost him the championship. I don't think this was the right call for him to make, perfectly honest. Johnny there in 9th. Wacky's still not too far behind. Wacky does have a half-second penalty. Brew there in 11th. Brew getting blue flags because has got some drivers coming past, but it is Gavsky at the moment. Nice lead. Just needs to keep this one together. I say as he goes a little bit wide there, but still keeps on the track. Froxy there in 2nd. Got a nice gap now as Froxy to Hugo behind him, P3 in 3rd place. Hugo does have Sprinkler not too far behind, but Sprinkler has a Gear Kayla for company. Sprinkler on the hards, Gear Kayla on the softs. These two have had some great battles as the championship has gone on. But I think this particular battle, I think Sprinkler is going to be a sitting duck to Gear Kayla's overall pace on that soft tyre. As Gear Kayla goes up the inside, Sprinkler potentially looks to fight it back, but just doesn't have the grip. Out there on the marbles, and that is Gear Kayla up into P4. Sprinkler dropping down to 5th. Rich there in 6th. Mario 7th. LBR Lewis getting clear. Had a scruffy lap last time round. That's the same pace as what the hard runners are doing. So not a great lap then. Johnny's still in 9th with Wacky in 10th. Wacky serving another, that's got to be another half-second penalty for Wacky. Wacky's collecting half-second penalties at the moment. And Drew there, obviously under blue flags, right in the mix now of all these front runners. It's unfortunate for Drew with the 2 stops, 1 to repair damage earlier on in the race that we saw. And Drew getting out of the way nicely. Nice to see that from Drew. And moving out of the way of Sprinkler as well. That is straight there. Great job moving out of the way. And stopping on the apex. I think he's just getting out of the way of everyone here. But it is Gavsky still in the lead. Gavsky's got such a lead now. We'll see what lap time Gavsky gets under his belts on this one. A 121.4, that is good pace on the hards. Froxy's not a million miles behind. As Froxy completes another lap. 21.2, great back from Froxy. Hugo coming round there. Gear Kayla doing a 119.880. So Gear Kayla is fine. Can Gear Kayla catch Hugo for 3rd place? That is going to be interesting. With 2 minutes to go, they will get 2 laps in. Will Gear Kayla's soft tyres last? Can Gear Kayla turn this into a podium? Here, look at that gap he's made to Sprinkler behind Gear Kayla, and Gear Kayla is flying at the moment. Catching up on Hugo here. I think Hugo's not going to have a defence for this one. Will it be on this straight? Did Gear Kayla get enough drive? Gear Kayla flashing the lights. Let him know I'm here, Hugo. I'm coming for you. Setting a personal best through that sector. Hugo manages to survive. But look at the drive Gear Kayla gets off the corner. Gets up the inside. Hugo manages to hang it out. Is this game? Well, is he going to have a defence here, Hugo? Now, this should be the last lap. So we'll stay with this for as long as we can to see if Gear Kayla gets past Hugo, but we will have to jump to Gavsky at some point, obviously, as he gets closer to winning the race. We get a chance to see if Hugo will hang on. We will have to jump to Gavsky in a second. We will jump to Gavsky just before he crosses the line because it is the final lap. The countdown has ended. It's not going to happen just yet. We will jump to Gavsky because Gavsky is going to take the race win at round number 9 goes to Gavsky, with Froxy Dev in 2nd place. And I have just seen on the lap time as well, Froxy Dev cross the line. It is Gear Kayla in 3rd at the moment. We will go back and watch it because Gear Kayla has got 3rd. With Hugo in 4th. Sprinkler has gone across the line in 5th. Mario in 6th, with Elbiolus not too far behind. Crossing the line in 7th. Rich is going to finish in 8th. And something happened to Rich as well, so we'll go back and watch that at the same time we watch the Gear Kayla replay. So we'll watch them both now as Rich crosses the line in 8th. Let's see what happened to Rich there. So we'll deal with the Rich incident first, as that happened earlier in the actual race. So Rich was all over the back of Sprinkler coming through the S section here, and just little bit on the curb here, and around he goes into the barrier. Unfortunately there from Rich, that has cost him a couple of positions late on the races. There goes through Mario, and there goes through LBR Lewis. Oh, that was close to LBR Lewis there. But that is what happened to Rich. We will now go and have a look at what happened in that overtake from Gear Kayla. So we've got Gear Kayla all over Hugo, getting up the inside, going outside, sorry. And Gear Kayla braking so late, around the outside. Hugo does fight it back, but Gear Kayla is through and up into P3, second to last corner of the race. There's the checkered flag and Gear Kayla taking a podium. Johnny is going to take 9th. Wacky will take P10, and it was Drew in 11th. But your race winner tonight for round 9 and taking the lead back in the championship surely goes to Gavsky. Wow, wow, wow. What another fantastic race here in the LB Racing Series. Don't forget to smash that like button and hit the subscribe button as well for that fantastic show that the drivers put on. And let's have a look and see what that's done to the drivers' standings as we head in towards the last round. So it is Baldy there in 14th, Hulai in 13th, Wacky 12th, Mad J getting up to 11th now, Fat Man in 10th, Johnny in 9th with Drew in 8th place. So we've got a couple of close battles here. At the bottom, Drew and Johnny quite close together. Mad J and Wacky close together as well in this bottom half of the table. Let's have a look at the top half. So Mike is in 7th with Froxy Dev 6th, Mario 5th, Sprinkler 4th, Gear Kayla 3rd, LBR Lewis dropping down to 2nd, Gavsky retaking the lead of the championship. So Gavsky has 6 points advantage going into the last round. Gear Kayla and Sprinkler on the same points and Mario not too far behind. So it's all to hot up there in the top half of the table. But thank you, as I said, everyone so much for watching. If you haven't watched the other videos in the series, please go back and check them out. They're all here on the channel. We'll be back next week for the final round of the series, which will be at Interlagos. So tune in next Saturday to find out who is going to win the first LB Racing Series. Cheers everyone for watching.